Today's video is going to be about fixing a bent wheel and learning about the process. If you looked at our previous video, I talked about the Vogue GTCs on the Supra, how I recently purchased them from a guy in New Jersey. And when it got here, this is how one of the front wheels turned out.
Watch it when it's spinning here, like watch the inside of the wheel.
Oh yeah.
It looks like it got curved pretty hard.
Now let's talk about how they typically repair wheels. What happens is that this is a metal, some form of aluminum, some are a forged material, and when it gets deformed or gets damaged, they heat it. Heat is what you need, and what happens is that when you heat up a metal, it's more malleable. You're able to reform it to as close to spec as possible. So what the professionals do is they do use the same application of heat. Now, where the high-end shops or the high-end manufacturers or the really fancy machines, what they do is that there's a machine that holds the wheel, and when you heat it up, it puts hydraulic pressure on the certain part of the wheel that's damaged. They slowly push it back, but they're using a nice proper force on it, which is not fast, which isn't blunt. It's just a nice force to push it back, and that gives you a better result. So how do they check if the wheel is proper? They put the wheel on a certain machine, something that could hold it, and what they do is they check the runout. The runout measures any part that is not correct, and then when they feel a high spot or something like that, they're like, all right, this is an area that needs to be fixed. And once they get the runout correct enough, and once they get that fixed enough, then the wheel is kind of back to its original shape. There is a tolerance that they're shooting for. Okay, so let's talk about my journey fixing my wheels. After I found out about Woody's, I contacted them and they told me to send the wheels. So what I did is I had to package the wheels up in boxes and then send it over. So I got the phone call and they said, you know what, we can't fix them. And I was like, yes. They're like, one of them's pretty bad, but we could do it. And then about a week later, they called me and they said that they were able to get them into spec. I paid them. Here's my invoice. So, roughly about 400 bucks. And then they arranged to ship them back. UPS finally showed up and they dropped off the wheels and we were excited. So as we took them out, we were on a time crunch because Discount Tire was about to be closed. So we drove to Discount Tire. We showed up. I'm not gonna lie, I was holding my breath as the balance machine started. And then when they were balancing, the machine gave the green light. And at that point in time, I was excited. Huge thank you to Woody's Wheel Works in Denver, Colorado. So without further ado, let's show you the new wheels. And guys, thank you for watching the video. Hope you guys learned something, and we'll see you soon.